Alright everybody, so we are currently on our way to our second ever residential case on Paranormal Encounters.
What's going on right now with this is she actually has received text messages from her husband, who has been long past for over a year now.
I just pulled over and took a picture of it because it kind of freaked me out a little bit.
I really hope we can find some kind of answers for her and we can connect and hopefully talk with Steve tonight.
You know, people talk about cardinals, but my kitchen window, I had one that would fly into that window like every day.
Are you seriously?
I'm not lying to you, India. I have it recorded right now. Oh my God.
Alright everybody, so we are currently on our way to our second ever residential case on Paranormal Encounters. We're looking forward to this one. Connor was the one who discovered this case. So Connor, how did you come about this family?
Someone I work with came up to me and told me that one of her family members watches our show actually on YouTube. And a few weeks later, she came back up to me and had told me that her friend having experiences in her home, and that her husband had passed away about a year ago, and that she believes that is her husband that's coming through and communicating with her. Now, the most unique thing about this, though, is we're very cautious when it comes to residential cases because there's a lot of things that can be explained about why the family is experiencing things, carbon monoxide poisoning, or maybe it's grieving or something like that, something that could be explainable. But she so happened to have a text message picture from who got something very, very, very unique. And what's going on right now with this is she actually has received text messages from her husband, who has been long past for over a year now. And the most peculiar part about this is that it will only happen when she's driving in her car. Some cars, modern day cars, newer cars, can get text messages in their vehicle. And she still has the same phone that her husband used at his job. So with this case though, she had asked for some privacy. So we're not going to tell you where we are going. We're not going to use her name for the privacy of the family.
I'm very intrigued by the idea of the dead being able to send phone calls and messages and things like that. That's something that's always interested me, but always freaked me out a little bit at the same time. We're going to make sure that she knows that we cannot contact anyone directly. We don't claim to be able to summon anything or open any portals or anything like that. We're just simply going in and documenting what we find, and they can make of that whatever they wish to make of that. It's up to them. So hopefully during this investigation we'll be able to get some good evidence, and hopefully the goal would be to find out why these messages are coming through, and if we can't do that, then at least give the lady an idea of what might be around.
So we're about 30 minutes out from this location right now, and let's hear what she has to say and find out more about what's going on inside her house.
So, do you want to maybe start with how this all started?
After Steve had passed, people talk about cardinals and I had one, and I've had them fly into the windows before, but my kitchen window, I had one that would fly into that window like every day, like all the time. And it would do it so often, it like bloodied the window.
Oh my gosh.
And so if you look in there, I have a stained glass piece hanging in there now because, you know, they say they see their reflection. That's why they kind of attack the window. But I've never had it like happen over and over. And then I would go out into the garage to leave, and when the light would be on, it would sit in the tree and it would hit that window over and over again, not just like once or twice.
After the cardinal, that was the first thing you noticed, right? Did you notice anything after that?
I always have to have my coffee in the morning, and I always make it and take it to work with me. I have a certain one that I take with me, and every once in a while I'll leave it in my car. And I was kind of talking out loud to myself saying, oh great, I've left it in the car. I have to go outside and get it. It's going to be cold and dark, you know. And not that I can't turn the light on, you know, to go out, but it's just the whole idea of going out there because it's first thing in the morning, it's still dark out. So I opened the door and the garage light on the garage door opener was on, and it has a timer on it. It's supposed to go off, and it was on when I opened the door. And so, you know, I just kind of like, yeah, thanks, Steve, you know.
Yeah.
Like I would say things like that, just, I don't know, it was just really just little strange things. Then when that Memorial Day, his sister came over and her husband and Steve's dad, and we went to walk into the cemetery. We just were about to his gravesite, and a huge dragonfly flew right between us and his sister and I. And she's like, oh, you know, she's like freaking out about it. And I said, they don't bite. And she's like, I just don't like them. They're so big. And I said, well, you know, I've seen dragonflies like just weird places. And then, which is my grandson, he was here that day when Steve had passed. I had went to pick him up, and when we got back, that's when I found him. And we were laying in bed one night, and he was talking about him, that he missed Pawpaw. And I said, I know, honey, I do too. And he said, it's okay, Mama, you have me. And I said, I know, honey. And he was just laying there, and like all of a sudden he just like jerked his head real quick. And I said, what, you know, what's wrong? He said, did you hear that? And I said, no, honey. I said, what did you hear? He said, you didn't hear that guy laughing? And I said, no, honey. I said, Mama didn't hear that. And there was another day he had stayed with me, and he would go back and go to the bathroom, no big deal. And he went down the hallway, and I heard him kind of, not really running, but kind of coming back a little fast. And I said, what's wrong? He says, I want you to come with me. And, you know, like he's 5. And I said, well, why, honey? You can go by yourself. You do that all the time. He says, there's a shadow on your wall in your bedroom. I want you to go with me. So I went with him.
How old is he?
He's 6 now. He was 4.5, 5 years old then.
Okay. So Connor told me you received a text message, is that right?
Several times.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the first time I was on my way home, a text came through on my car, but it wasn't on my phone. Steve had sent me one that had his social security number on it. And I had saved in my phone, like locked so it won't, you know, disappear, because I need it all the time, and I'd have to text him and ask him for it because I could never remember it. And so I locked it on there, and I just pulled over and took a picture of it because it kind of, you know, it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's happened. I've got pictures on my phone. It's happened several times. And it wasn't always at the same, like I wasn't at the same place. One day I was going to go to the gym with my daughter. It popped up. And I was going to show her, and I forgot. I turned my car off, and my radio stays on. And then, of course, when I opened the door, everything went off, and then it disappears. It doesn't stay on there.
And you have his phone, right?
Yeah, his phone's right there. It's off, and I kept it on for like a month or so after, just because I needed some things off of it.
Do you want to share what happened? You don't have to. If you.
Yeah, I can.
No,
it's fine. That day, on Wednesday, he had come home, and he was sitting. He would sit right there, and he was sitting there, you know, on his phone. He said, I don't have to work the next couple of days because the heating had went out on he drove a semi. It had went out on it and they had to work on it for the second time. I said, well, goody, goody for you, you know? And he just kind of laughed and he said, well, maybe you'll get a flood day because where I work, if it rains very hard, we can't go. And I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Well, that happened on Friday. So we got to spend a little time in the morning together, and he had went and ran some errands, went to the grocery store, and he was downstairs working on his dirt bike. And I went to get it, and I left about 3:45. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna leave, and he was talking to his oldest daughter, and I just told him I'd see him in a little bit, and I was back by 5:35. And when I opened the door from the garage, and I could feel it, I knew something was wrong. So I had to sit on the couch, and you see that little gate that's across the thing. We did have a spiral staircase there, but we had taken it out because we wanted to put like normal steps in, because you just couldn't get up and down those steps. That was down, and I thought, well, maybe he was taking something big down, because he had an 8-foot ladder that we just used like stairs. And when I went over, I had yelled when I brought him through, and when I went over, I saw him. He was coming upstairs because he was probably going to go get his youngest daughter, and he had a brain aneurysm. And he fell. But I knew it was bad. He was still breathing because he was in really good shape. But I knew it was bad because I could tell he hadn't tried to catch himself. But they said he was gone before he hit the floor.
Oh, we're so sorry. Got any tissues or anything?
It's okay.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
Do you need to stop for a minute?
No, I'll be all right.
Okay. Just let us know if you want to
Yeah.
stop.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I have to be.
Bonnie, I want to tell you, we can't guarantee we'll make contact with anyone tonight, you know? If you want to partake in it, you're more than welcome to, you know, like if you want to ask questions or do anything that we're going to be doing tonight, you know, like I said, you're more than welcome to, you know, be a part of that.
We just got done doing our interview, and it's one of the most emotional interviews I want to say we've ever done. And I really hope when we leave here, we can find some kind of answers for her, and we can connect and hopefully talk with Steve tonight. That's like never a guarantee when you go to any place. And if we do make contact with Steve tonight, she's able to get a message across to him or vice versa, and we can find some kind of closure for her and her family. We're gonna get started into this investigation right now and see what kind of stuff we can get here. Right now we're doing an Estes session in the living room with India is directly behind this camera in the dining room. We're going to try to communicate with hopefully Steve. Are you ready, India?
Yep.
Okay, ready? Yeah. Okay. Feel free to ask questions anytime, any given moment. India's not going to be able to hear you. Is she doing it? India? Okay. Okay. We're here tonight to hopefully communicate with anyone, or Steve, if you're still here. He is sitting right next to me here. Is there anything you would like to say? She showed us some text messages that you were sending to her phone. Were you just trying to let her know that that was you? you have any questions or anything you wanna ask?
I do wonder, Steve, if you are trying to communicate.
Were you sending the cardinal to the window and the dragonflies as a sign that you're still watching over? We're here tonight to try to help get a message across. If you have anything you want to say, or if you have anything you want to show, we have some pieces of equipment tonight that will help you deliver more messages if you would like. Can you go through India and tell us something that we don't know that might know?
I'm hearing voices, but they're very far away, so I can't tell what it's being said.
Are you trying to come through? I'm gonna grab something real quick here, okay? It's gonna look really funny, but these are cat toys. They're called cat balls. So basically, they light up. What they do is they light up when you first turn them on, and then they turn off. We've had spirits interact with us where they've turned on the cat balls. And what this is that I'm messing with right now is called a REM pod. What that is it basically has an antenna. Anything goes near it, it lights up. And then as it gets closer, the colors start changing and it starts flashing when it's right on top of it. So basically it creates a field around itself. Anything that gets near it breaks it and makes it light up. If you are trying to give her a message, Steve, we have cat balls over here in a REM pod. And just like the signs you've already been giving, you can make them light up and then let you know that you're still here and you're just trying to send a message across.
Okay, I can hear a man's voice, and it sounds like the same man's voice, but it's so quiet. I can't hear what he's saying.
That's you, Steve. Can you speak a little louder? You're stronger than that.
Was he a quiet talker?
He was very quiet in crowds and things. Very an observer.
Yes.
Steve, we're just here tonight to help your wife here. And just like those text messages, those are absolutely amazing. To have something like that happen is just an unbelievable experience for someone to have. Tonight, while we're trying to communicate with you, we're going to be using a device later that we call Ghost Tube Seer. And what that does is it will draw an image with AI. And I would hope, if you could, please draw something that's very relevant that we won't know what that means, but will.
Let me out?
Those dreams you were talking about, he said there was one where he didn't talk or anything like that.
There was one I asked him where he had been, and he kept saying, I don't know. He was happy. He would just say, I don't know. I don't know where I've been. Are you okay?
Connor. Hi.
Hello. Is this Steve?
Yes, that was a very clear yes.
Steve, thank you, if that's you, for coming through and talking right now.
For me.
Steve, if that's you, can you tell us what you can see right now?
Stop.
Could you hear me talking to you on that day when you had the accident?
Because
Because of what? You know I love you.
For her.
Oh, I'm understanding what's going on right now. I get that. I get what's going on. It makes sense.
I think he wants you to stop for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's okay, Steve. Should I stay here?
No.
Do you think it would be better if I lived somewhere else? Was that you that heard laughing?
Are you still with us right now?
Somebody's there.
Are you talking about India and I?
I'm going to sell your truck to is that okay?
Hello? You can hear me or something like that? Hear me or something?
Yes, I can hear you.
There you go. Sounded like it said construction.
Across the street, they're doing construction right now.
Yeah, isn't that bad? They're building that house across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Too bad we didn't buy that house a little sooner.
Something, I don't know, it said house or home or something.
Oh my God. We were just talking about that. I think I'm gonna go stop her, and then what we can do next is ghost tube lens. It's where we're gonna have that ability to have images drawn and see if anything that was said during the SS session can come back through, but more in depth or even more of a message, because that way we can visually see something, and then hopefully something will come through that means something to you that we don't know about, and then we can go further with that, okay?
Okay.
Let me go stop her real quick here. India, what are we doing right now? Where are we?
Okay, so right now we've moved to the bedroom and we're going to do a ghost tube lens session. Is going to wear the lens and she's going to describe to us if she sees any images, what they are, and yeah, we're going to see if there's anything relevant that can come through. All right, so if there's anybody here, my name is India and this is Connor, and we'd like for you to use the device that's on head to come through and talk to us, show us anything that you would like to show her. So could you show who you are?
As soon as you see anything start popping up, just start describing if you can. It's drawing it in real time, so these are not pre-populated images at all. This is every image you're about to get is 1000% authentic and being written and drawn in the moment.
By an AI, yeah. It might be a little tricky to figure out how to use it, but we hope that you're able to figure it out.
And Steve, we appreciate you coming through in the living room and talking and answering some questions that she had for you. Some of those were absolutely incredible.
Can you show her where you are right now?
Steve, if you can hear me, can you maybe draw something that she would know what that means? Can you show her something?
As we proceeded deeper into the investigation, we didn't find any further evidence in the bedroom using ghost tube lens. As I was about to end the recording session, I noticed something. An image of a newborn baby had appeared. We then moved to investigate the basement where Steve had spent his final moments. What we captured in ghost tube lens gave us goosebumps.
You ladies ask away.
Show us your happy place. Show me what you could hear that day.
Okay, I have an image. What is this? You don't want it.
You go ahead.
It's, I want to say it's a lady.
Yeah.
Like, it's like an 80s looking kind of scene.
And I'm going to turn Vox on.
Go for it. You got it.
Yeah, because I don't need to record that one, right? Because it'll just...
Yeah, as long as you're by your audio of your phone or your microphone, yeah. We don't ever use the audio.
Okay, so right now I'm going to turn on Ghost Tube Vox to see if we can get any voices come through. Is there anybody here with us? Can you use this box and speak through it so we can hear your voice?
You can also show us an image here, like you've been doing.
I was happy?
Yeah, I was going to say happy.
Maybe? It cut off.
I got an image of a face. It's just a face. Yeah, the face is white. There's a black like freckle. The nose has black paint. There's black around his eyes, like kind of like makeup. And then it's got like a black line right here on the forehead. And it's got black hair. We did say earlier that these images that are populating could have multiple meanings or alternative meanings to what it's showing us, okay?
Yeah.
Steve, do you have a message for... She can hear you.
I know you were happy.
I got a breeze that came over my hand just now. Is there a window or door? Well, obviously there's doors shut right now, right? There's no windows down here. Maybe it's the air conditioning.
The air's off.
The air is off?
There is
Oh yeah,
no
you
air.
said, that's right. You said there's no air.
The air blew up, Steve.
There's a face. There's a man, like he's got his mouth open, like he's like kind of like disgusted.
He's mad because we're in his basement.
It's kind of like I think you can see my face. You probably can't see my face in the dark here, but
Yeah, I know the face.
it's literally just a guy's face and his upper shoulder part.
We're not going to touch any of your stuff. We're just here to communicate with you. Consider it.
Always.
You can also touch one of those cat balls that are on the floor. It'll light up. So we know you're here. That was a laugh. That was a hee 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 hee.
Hey, there's another image.
Yeah, because he would think that would probably,
Oh my god.
Hang on.
he would think that would be funny if he did something like that.
Oh my god, I have serious. I have goosebumps. Oh my god, it is a beating heart. Oh my god, it's got. Oh my god, I think it's literally a heart with like veins, but there's something in the middle of the sort of the heart is going in and out. I can't tell. It looks almost like that wheatgrass, like very faint, but it's not. But it's literally like a heart.
He had a very strong heart and a very big heart.
Oh my god.
Steve, did you send those text messages?
That sounded like that. I don't know what he said, but
That's like his voice? Is that what is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. The tone, just the.
I don't know what that's saying. Okay, what I'm going to do is turn this off, and I'm going to put Ghost Tube on, and I won't be able to record it, but it'll record on the camera anyway. So we'll see if it says anything. So I've got Ghost Tube on right now. I'm going to see if we get anything through there.
There's another image. Oh,
I'm going. Where are you going?
It's an image of a eagle right in front of me.
Of course.
The eagle mean.
Come here.
Where do you want us to go?
He texted me that morning, "Are you still here?" I said, "Yes." He's like, "Come here. I'll show you on my phone. It's still on here. Come here."
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, wow. And that was an eagle. What does the eagle mean?
Steve was nature, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. He was outdoors, hiking. That would be like his body, him soaring.
Yeah.
He told me that morning before he got out of bed. He said, "I don't know what's wrong with me." And I said, "What?" And he just kind of shook his head.
I told her.
I told her.
You did tell me.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I asked you. I said, "What's wrong?" And you said, "Oh, nothing." I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Okay. Do you need to stop? Okay.
Do we need to stop?
No, we're okay.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
This is some very
You don't understand. He was my other half. My soulmate.
I mean, we heard I was happy, so you know, he definitely sounds like.
His brother, we saw him a few times over the years that we were married, and he came to the funeral. He didn't like funerals, and he said, "I didn't understand what a funeral was supposed to be until I came here and I saw all the people that loved him and the life he had and all the pictures and the smile." Because he was very sad as a child.
Give it to me.
Give you what? My sadness?
There's an image of a cardinal.
A cardinal?
There's a cardinal on the screen right now. It's
Are
literally.
you seriously?
I'm not lying to you, India. I have it recorded right now. It's a red cardinal. It's an you know the Indiana bird, right? It's a cardinal.
Yeah.
It's literally a
But
cardinal.
yeah, she said about the cardinal going into the window.
It's literally a cardinal right in front of me, and it's got like a black. I mean, it's a cardinal. It's literally a cardinal, but it's on something white. I can't tell what the white thing is, but there's greenery behind it. It's literally a bird right there.
Yeah, because they would be in the pine trees out.
Yep, it does kind of look like a pine tree. Now you're saying it. Over here, there's some. Yep, there's a cardinal. This is
Steve, was the cardinal a sign from you?
There's a picture of a house. It's a white house, almost like maybe a barn. That's right there, and there's some. What is this tree? There's a tree right here, and there's trees all around actually, around here, and it's two windows right here, one here, and there's one at the top. Looks like maybe an attic. There's like a porch or something.
It could be the house we were going to buy.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute. Is there any last minute messages that you'd like to say, if you still have the energy? You've done a great job of communicating with us tonight. And we want to thank you for having us in your home and meeting your lovely
I'm gonna stop Goosebumps here, okay? So we're gonna wrap up our investigation here tonight. It's been probably one of the more emotional investigations we've done, because some of those images that just came through Ghost Tube lens was really weird, especially having that cardinal, like having the cardinal hit the window upstairs and then having that image come through. What do you think about the investigation, India?
I definitely think we got some very interesting evidence, especially the cardinal. The chances of us getting a picture of a cardinal when she told us about one hitting the window is just very slim. So that to me was the bit that stood out to me. And do you want to say a few words on how you think it went?
It's actually calming to me. I know some people, it kind of freaks them out when things like that happen, but it didn't. Me, even when like the thing, I kept telling people like, this is what happened, or this little thing happened, and they just kind of look at you like, yeah, well, things happen, but
Yeah.
it's kind of peaceful to me just to know he's kind of looking out for me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. And did you feel like you got a little bit of confirmation that what you experienced was actually something?
Right.
Yeah.
That it was something that he was trying to give me signs that he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I'm glad. Well, thank you for having us.
Getting text messages from someone who has passed on it shows that there is something beyond this life, like that you do go somewhere, and that it's not that this life is not the only life that we have after here. So thank you for letting us have this experience with you here tonight.
Thank you for coming and visiting with me.
If you're new to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We have so many places coming up this year. We've got some really exciting ones. And if you saw or heard anything that we might have missed, as always, let us know in the comments. We're gonna get out of here, go to bed, and we will see you all in the next episode of Paranormal Encounters.